I'm about to show you a complete system used by 100 wholesalers that took them from struggling getting motivated sellers to getting 5 deals every month. Using a simple 6-step process that any wholesaler can copy paste and start using it today in their business. But here's the crazy part. Most wholesalers and investors are still cold calling 8 hours a day, driving for dollars on the weekend instead of spending time with their family, and sending out thousands of direct mail to get terrible leads that never convert. And you've probably been there too, grinding your face off, working night after night with outdated methods that don't seem to work at all, and you lost all the hope that you had over wholesaling. While you're still watching other investors in social media post their deals, their HUDs, and winning every day, making it seem it's easy, and they effortlessly close deal after deal. You see, there's a new way to get motivated sellers that 99% of people are missing out on. And it comes down to a complete lead to close system that works 24/7 to find your next deal. And it's so powerful that one of our clients like Watson went from 0 contracts a month to 3 contracts every month, making over $70,000 a month. Or Dawson, that is closing 6 to 7 deals a month in California, a very tough market, making over 6 figures every month. And all of them are using this exact blueprint. And I'm about to break down every single step from getting exclusive motivated seller leads and appointments delivered right to your phone to the exact scripts that get sellers to say yes, even if you have 5 other competitors, to the CRM automations that follow up for you even if you're sleeping. And this is in theory. This is the exact system that I use and I teach that keeps making me millions of dollars in deals every year. And over 700 real estate investors and wholesalers that are doing this right now. Because I'm on a mission of helping over 1,000 real estate investors and wholesalers, flippers, creative investors to build predictable deal flow so you can start building a business that you really wanted. In the next 25 minutes, I'm going to give you the complete roadmap that is going to take you from not doing deals or having inconsistent months to having consistent months and living the dream life that you ever wanted. And I'm going to teach it to you completely for free. It's going to include a toolkit, scripts, templates, playbooks, SOPs, and everything that you need in order to plug and play and start this week closing more deals. So without further ado, let's jump into this. How to get motivated seller leads the easy way and close deals. Now, a lot of you have been asking how to do it. I have not seen anything that is easier than this. And literally, there's a lot of wholesalers. We've worked with over 700 that are crushing it, including a few franchises such as Red Barn or big names like the 7-Figure Cartel, the Boardroom Mastermind community that have been using our leads and ultimately getting more deals on contract. Now, the first step is that you have to choose the right channel. Now, you know that there's different channels out there, right? You got pay-per-click, Google ads, Facebook ads, Instagram, YouTube ads, direct mail. Well, you go to a channel that gives you higher quality leads. And why is Get Sellers the best one? Well, this platform actually focuses on getting you appointments. When you get appointments, you essentially are talking with higher quality leads, more high intent. They've been qualified by some sort of filter or by some sort of person about their intent, their urgency, their motivation, and whether they're the right decision maker. So when you're getting to this platform, which is getsellers.io right in here, you're going to see that there's different leads in this side. Now, let me just move my camera here. So the leads are going to be in the map, whether you are in the United States or even Canada, I think so. And you can buy specific leads. You'll see the deals that are happening in the platform every day. So I think the deals come from a gold color. And so you'll see that this one has been locked up by Alice Johnson. And it was an investment restructuring deal. So this was a deal. We don't have the clear picture right now of that specific property, but this one was an appointment. Seller was facing foreclosure, was within this corner, I think so. So the seller had financial issues, and then ultimately was an appointment. It's an appointment booked. This one's a lead that came in from a website, 70% score, and then ultimately this seller is moving out of state. So we can see a preview of where it kind of is located. Each lead will have the location where it comes from and the score. And some leads will be leads, some leads will be appointments, some leads will be actual contracts that have been happening. And you can just like buy the ones that you want. And some leads will come from Google Ads, some leads will come from direct mail, some leads will come from a website, from Instagram, from SEO, from Facebook ads, from direct mail, from cold calling, cold email, PPC, agent referral, you name it, you have it. You'll be able to check here the type of deals that are in here. For example, this property right here is a retirement property that happened in this area of Miami. So how's that it works? You need to create a profile first of all. So you go to here and then I already had created it, but you just easily create one. So sign up, very easy. And I'm gonna just use my login. And I'm gonna ask you a couple of questions so you can get an instant personalized approach. Now, I highly suggest that you go through their onboarding process, this onboarding process. So number one, you pick your markets. Number two, you set up the lead delivery routing. You set up the calendar integration, so you get booked appointments. Then you add a payment method to get money in the wallet. And then you activate your account by booking an appointment with them. And then there's a welcome process that unlocks everything else. So it's a series of things, but there is a quick setup wizard. Now, there's a few steps, obviously, that you need to ultimately take. It's going to be reminding you to take those steps right in here and some learning before buying leads. But there is a setup wizard that ultimately walks you through all the steps that we just actually taught. So if you were to get started, leads will come in by first selecting your target markets. Then the lead will come real time. This is not like it's laying in a marketplace. It literally comes real time. So I'll show you. So if I already selected a few counties, well, you should be able to select counties either by state. Let's say I'm here in Florida and I select whatever counties I want. So let's say I want to subscribe for Miami-Dade. The pricing right now is irrelevant because pricing is set up live right there whenever you get onboarded. And I know the pricing is between $150 to $600. It all depends on your location, the competition, and everything else. But you're able to actually subscribe to anything that you want. So here, for example, I'm in Florida. And let's say I do want to subscribe to somewhere in, let's just say I'm going to go to somewhere in here in Arizona, and I'm able to subscribe to some of the counties as well, right? The next step is that ultimately leads will be delivered through email, SMS, webhooks, APIs, or custom CRM integrations. That's why it's very important that you ultimately are setting up the lead delivery aspect. So you put your email, you put your SMS, you put your CRM integration. So let's say, for example, go high level, right? Or custom API and or a webhook that routes towards where you want, and you configure everything in here, right? Again, if you do it through the quick setup wizard, you'll be able to actually do that even easier, right? You just set everything up in here with the different CRMs that you have, okay? I highly suggest go high level, and I'm going to show you one example of that. So you set that up. The sign up is very easy. It's a free sign up. You'll be able to see every single lead and so on. And it's a free sign up for the platform. Again, when you go in, you'll see different leads that are being generated from other users and appointments and also some deals. You enter your payment information. So it's very important that you go in here and then you ultimately put something in your wallet. If you don't put something in your wallet, it's going to be very hard to actually get money in, right? So you come in here, you add your funds, you put your credit card information, you put ultimately a payment information, and then you're going to put a monthly lead budget. Let's just say, for example, $3,000, auto reload. So automatically, and reload threshold, let's just say a threshold, put it 1,000, or let's just say 1,500, and reload amount every single time. Let's say I want to reload it every single time for $2,000. You save these budget settings, and then ultimately there's other settings in here that you can do, such as connecting to other CRMs, the appearance of everything in here, compact view, and whatever. Okay, there's other things that you can ultimately play with it. Same thing for notifications and so on. Okay, now we're gonna go over here the next steps. So you're gonna choose your geography filters and any filters that you need in order to get leads. First, start by testing lead quality. So you need to give quality feedback to the platform, because the better feedback, better feedback loops that you give to a marketing channel or to a marketing team, the better, because they're going to actually receive quality leads, feedback, and then once they get that feedback, they'll send you more of that. They'll consistently send you more of that. They need that type of feedback from the sales team. It's very important that you do that. Pricing is between $150 to $600, varies in market competition and population. And if you're doing appointments, well, you'll be charged by the appointment as well. Or you can just choose to get appointments and so on, and the leads not really. Now, whenever you get appointments, you're going to have a higher show ratio and a higher pickup rate. That's pretty good. It's going to be put into your calendar. Leads are exclusive. I believe they only work with 2 people per market, and that's it. I think right now there is a wait list. So this platform doesn't work with everyone and their mother. So there's a wait list. So whenever you book an appointment to activate, they're putting you on a platform because there is exclusivity, right? I think maybe later on in the future, they'll open up for more people, but for now, it's exclusive. Now, you can pause and cap at any time, but it's always important to ask if leads are shared or exclusive and track close rates per market. And I mean, ultimately per channel, because here's the thing, like a lot of pay-per-lead providers, they are shady. So you want to check on this, whether you use this one or anything else. The second step is ultimately setting up your CRM in Go High Level. This is where I was talking about. Now, I do have a CRM that we use right in here. It's about, it's called REI Rocket Force. And this is an AI marketing and conversion platform that is Go High Level based, and then it's just only $97. We'll give you a free trial in order for you to get started, but it's $97. And yearly, there is a deal if you do it yearly. If you are in a beta pricing, congratulations, and ask us for any better pricing. This one is a Go High Level made specifically for REI, and it has all the automations and workflows that you actually need. I'm going to walk you through how they actually look like, or they would look like for you, right? Next up, so you got to be able to actually build up a pipeline. And in this example right here, we have new lead, attended contact, contacted, qualified, and wants offer, offer sent, follow up, under contract, and closed. You can also create a few ones based on the hotness of the lead. So these are buckets. A solid CRM ensures every lead is tracked, followed up, and converted. So Go High Level allows you to do just that. I'll show you. How many did you give them? So this is how it looks like right here in the Go High Level pipeline. This is one of our pipeline called inbound client acquisitions. New lead, responded, attended contract, persevering, 6 months nurture, contact, follow-up, appointment set, negotiating, offer made, hot offer leads, warm offer leads, cold offer leads, under contract, close deal, need skip tracing, realtor listing, or I guess novations or lust. So this is ultimately how it's set up. And Go High Level is a really good CRM for you to actually keep track of all your leads, conversations, and ultimately just get, get some deals done. All right. So let's go back to this. These are some core automations that you actually need to have. Auto SMS when the lead comes in immediately. So something like this: hey, Name, I saw you came in about selling your house. Just curious, is everything okay? What's good? What's a good time to connect today? There's many different variations that you can do. Missed call to SMS with link to the schedule. So if you miss a call, it's automated SMS. Task reminders for follow up in 24 to 48 hours, and then ultimately nurture after you have done the first touch or AI conversation, and tag hot leads based on urgency. And then multiple other automations that you can have And some integrations would be connecting GetSellers.io to go high level using Zapier webhook, or Make as an option, which is a better one than Zapier, but it's just a little bit more complicated. Using Twilio for SMS and calls, and using the dialer, and set up the Calendly for acquisition manager appointments, or just go high level calendar. So here, as an example, we have a few automations in here that you can ultimately use in Go High Level that are built already for you. So there's some automation rules in here for inbound, for outbound, automations for callback, and everything that we were just telling you, right? So you can do that in there. Check it out. It's called REI Rocket Force. Now, step 3 is you got to contact the leads fast. So this is speed to lead. The faster you respond, the higher the chances for your conversion. And there's many ways to actually do it. I'm going to show you how to do that. The first thing is use your Go High Level dialer and take Kixi or smartphone. So Go High Level dialer is a simple dialer that is located in the top right corner of your Go High Level CRM. You can dial your leads or go through lead by lead and then ultimately dial, and I'll show you how that's done. Dial every single one of those leads. So you would just come in here, dial, click and dial in here, and the dialer will pop up. Or you can go to Kixi and then ultimately purchase this software to connect with a speed dialer. It's going to pop up in here. It's going to be faster than Go High Level, and it's going to also show the local ID, local numbers for you. So that's much better. Smartphone does the same thing. Fireflies or Fathom or even Crisp. Right now I'm using Crisp, and I record almost everything that I say to my team, to the leads and everything for audio notes, and then ultimately I take the transcriptions for better coaching for myself, right? Remember that what we're trying to do is we're trying to convert better every single time. Make sure that whenever you call is as local caller ID, either with CallRail or using Pixie ultimately. And another option is using an AI lead manager. Go High Level has an integrated one, but it's not as great. The best one I've seen is objectionproof.ai for real estate investing and wholesaling. So this one is done by Steve Trang and Ian Ross, and they're the best in the space for this. Literally, it's super worth it because there's an AI lead manager as opposed to like hiring a lead manager, which we can help on hiring a lead manager. You literally can just pay for an AI lead manager and it will be quicker, doesn't rest, and it's just amazing. Okay, so ultimately, whenever you do your first call, you got to dig into certain things, and you got to make sure that whether you're AI lead manager or your human lead managers, they go through a certain process. So I'll show you here. The first one will be an ideal discovery call or a triage call. So it has a few steps. The leads pick up the phone, you go through an introduction, you build rapport, you set a frame. Then information gathering is first pain questions first, you chunk down more, you dive deeper, you ultimately probe and do some Socratic questioning, and then you dive into some doubt, some finances, cost questions, desire questions, and support questions, which is partner or spouse. And then you ultimately eliminate any roadblocker that we have. We use an entire discovery script in order to actually kind of have a guidance, or this is literally a framework, and never actually fall flat. Okay, so that's the first one. And then you should book an appointment to your closer. Your lead manager should book an appointment, or whoever does that first call to discovery. In this case, it could be you or a junior acquisition. The next step would be using NAPQ sales framework from Jeremy Miner. And I want you to check out John Leland's school group, which is amazing for all of this. So this school group called the Wholesale Sales Academy, it has a classroom 3 times a day. There is ultimately training, role playing, and coaching. 3 times a week. And there's a classroom right in here with all the courses on NAPQ, and one of the best ways to actually get sales done. And they have all the playbooks, they have the call reviews, they do role playing, and it's very cheap. It's like $200 a month or something like that. Super cheap, actually, very affordable. If you are having difficulties closing deals, start doing this. If you want to be better from the very beginning, join something like that. It's called neuro-emotional persuasion questioning. So focus on asking layered questions to uncover sellers' real pain, needs, and desired outcome, making it their decisions to move forward without being pushy. So the breakdown is like this: 1, situation questions; 2, problem questions; 3, consequence questions; 4, solution questions; and 5th, commitment questions. That's kind of like the breakdown. The other one that you can do is RJ Bates' third style framework. Now, this one is a little bit more direct, more bold, more assertive. And I wrote an actual article about this, breaking it all down for you. So if you go to this article right in here, it breaks down the entire process. So it's a 5-step process. There's a few videos in here, but it's confirmed that they want to sell, establish the price, discover the seller's motivations and pain points, dive deep, analyze and comp property, and close the deal. So it's 5-step process. I don't recommend that for beginners that this is the go-to, because you need a level of skill set in order to be that direct. You can you can raise a lot of resistance by being so direct. So if you have a high levels of a skill set, RJ Bates is great. Or if you just have that nature, okay? In the step 5, you send a contract. Send the offer, send the contract. So you qualify the seller, given a verbal number, everything looks good. Now you send it fast. So there's a few tools that you got to be able to use, either DocuSign or PandaDoc. A lot of you don't know PandaDoc, but PandaDoc is amazing to make proposals that make everlasting impressions. This has automations with Go High Level. You can set it up. If you need help, just let us know. Let me know, let my team know, and we will do that for you for a fee, very small fee. Or inside of Go High Level, REI Rocket Force, there is a contract maker that you can actually take advantage of, because that's also another way for you to actually get some contracts done, right? So you just go to, I believe, in the contract area or marketing, I forgot exactly where, but you go here and you ultimately put a template up, and then you just ultimately just customize the templates, map out the fields, and just ultimately are able to send contracts from there. If you need help, let us know. Or Dropbox sign, right? You must have all the custom fields set up, and then ultimately working for this to actually make sense. Okay. Now, use a state-friendly template with your title company's help if needed, because this is huge. Now, step 6, you close the deal. So use an agency for transactional coordination called Easy REI. Tell them that Hustle Media and Esteban send them. So, because there's a lot of paperwork. Transactional process is kind of looks like this. You send the signed contract to title and escrow, order payoff if needed. You schedule a walkthrough, look into your end buyer if you're wholesaling or whatever innovation. You send an assignment contract, title prepares HUD, you get paid and closed. And here's a sample of the daily acquisition schedule from 9 to 5 p.m. And I always have sales meetings at 9 a.m. or 10 a.m., which means I'm reviewing calls, I'm practicing role playing or getting coaching, and then ultimately just getting better in sales. Okay. I can give you guys a bonus toolkit by request with everything that we just talked about, including the scripts, the frameworks, the templates, and the access to RJ Bates Vault or NAPQ School. Okay. So the next steps that you gotta have is to turn this system to results by taking action. So first, go set up your tool at GetSellers.io. So go get sellers, ultimately take a look at the leads that are actually happening. But either way, just set up a call with them and then ultimately put money into their account and start getting leads. You'll see how you can get leads in here. So you'll be able to have leads to call and appointments, okay? Set that up. Those are the steps that you get to take action, okay? Start getting leads, start having conversations. Build your CRM pipeline with Go High Level. Just buy something that already works. Just get something. If it is $97, guys, that's literally the price for a cup of coffee every day, or less than a cup of coffee, literally. So it's very worth it. So go to REI Rocket Force and set it up. Okay? Integrate Get Sellers with Zapier, Webhook, or Go High Level to send to that. We can actually do that for you if you end up working with us. And set up SMS, email automations, nurture sequences using Go High Level, speed to lead, and follow up. We can also help you with that as well. And then have inside sales agents or AI lead managers do that. Prepare your offer templates, assignment contracts. If you need help, let us know. If not, we can always have instructional videos for PandaDoc and so on. Then define your process playbooks, have playbooks. So scripts for NFPQ and RJ Bates. Make sure that you go to the Revolt and either buy the scripts, or sign up to that school community, which is highly valuable. I highly recommend. I can drop the link of that school community in the description below. Then you create a daily lead call rhythm. So every single day, you actually are checking in sales, reviewing sales calls, having qualitative feedback with your team, and just ultimately getting feedback either from a coach or something like that. Build a skip tracing SOP for bad contact info. So it doesn't matter if something didn't go right, there's ways to do it. I'm going to tell you in how to win section, how to actually win. Okay. And create a digital marketing template for buyers. I want you to check out two platforms. One is going to be Investor Base and Investor Lift. I have a link in the description below for both of them. Check them out because they're the best tool for finding buyers and even doing marketing. Implement the contract to closing checklist and use easy REI at the end. Then you delegate and train your team step by step. The best thing to do is that whenever you're at 70 or 80% capacity, you start hiring. So you're 70, 80% capacity of lead management, you should already have hired a VA for lead management, follow-up, and so on. Then after that, when you're 70, 80% capacity on appointments and leads that you're calling, you're closing, hire an acquisition rep. Then after that, hire a dispo manager. Then after that, well, you hire leadership. Make sure that you give them access to all your playbooks and SOPs, and build those playbooks and SOPs, even with Loom or something like that, okay? Like this. And then you track KPIs, do feedback loops weekly, and you ultimately are measuring number of leads, cost per lead, cost per contract, cost per appointment, cost per deal. Ultimately, cash conversion cycle and the deal size. Yeah, let me just put that, cash conversion cycle. And you create weekly reporting Google Sheets or Go High Level dashboards to stay sharp. Number 5, optimize every 30 days. Review your calls or notes, review your scripts based on objections. Make sure you're refining literally every single day. Actually, this says every 30 days, but it's like you have to do it every single day, literally every day, every single day. But maybe also touch base on, a scope, bigger scope every 30 days. A/B test dispo marketing messages, fire bad markets, every 30 dates, double down on winner markets, adjust follow-up automations, making sure that there is sanity checks. And remember to request the toolkit by saying, hey, send me the full REI deal system toolkit in the comments below, right? Now we're going to dive into how to win. I like this part, guys. How to win. So here's exactly how to win and how to maximize any pay-per-lead platforms. But now that we're talking about GetSellers.io, these platforms show you leads. They send you leads real time. But GetSellers.io actually gives you appointments. So here's the mindset before you ever buy a lead. So you're not buying just a deal. You're buying a conversation starter. And 90% of the ROI actually depends on your systems, not the lead quality. And there's 4 systems that you gotta have. One is the offer systems. So you have different offers depending on the seller's situation and the seller's underlying condition, underlying pain point and challenges, right? And their desires. You also have follow-up systems and that go with nurture systems, follow-up and nurture systems, so that you can get them speed to lead, get them fast, and ultimately nurture them until they're actually ready, or nurture them before they actually get on a call so that they're indoctrinated pre-sold on you. And the third thing is sales systems. So you have to have sales systems, because if they don't like you, they're not going to do doing business. But if they don't feel that they're going to be actually taken from one situation where they are right now to another situation where they need to be at, and that gap is actually met during that conversation, that gap that they have in their life, and that conversation is not high quality, then you're going to have trouble closing these leads. And the fourth thing is your mindset. So time kills deals, right? So speed plus strategy equals control. So before you ever buy leads, have this ready. You gotta have go high level, call rail, or Twilio, or even have just a dialer. But go high level is a great dialer. It's made for dialing fast. You can dial fast. You can have a VA with this, or you can just dial within the go high level platform. So this also will help you with the pipeline and the follow up automations for quick follow up, nurture, short term follow up, and long term follow up. So you create a drip. The third thing is have a skip tracing. So either People's Looker, True People Search, Beam Verify, whatever, or even PropStream that helps you skip trace people that maybe didn't give the right contact information, the phone number. The fourth thing is going to be a note taker, whether that's Fireflies or Fathom or even Crisp, that is going to allow you to take down notes on every seller conversation. You can also do some fancy AI integrations with Gemini or ChatGPT, where every conversation is transcribed within Go High Level. Ask me for more details. This will take auto notes for lead calls, and then you can actually take some of those transcriptions and have instant coaching or post coaching. There's other platforms that give you instant coaching for every single conversation. DocuSign or Dropbox sign, or even go high level contracts. So you gotta send contracts instantly, create these contracts out of templates. PandaDoc also works really well. Lead score sheet. So you gotta be able to score every lead based on four different conditions: the finances, right, or price, the motivation, right, or pain points, the urgency or time frame, ultimately, and the intent. Okay. Now, here's one thing that you also got to take a look at. There's also some personalized questions, or questions such as like, are you the decision maker? But this will give you a score, and that way you can identify which ones are the best for marketing qualified lead. Then during the conversation, you also have a score depending on the conversation, but you got to have a real conversation, a good conversation. And the last thing is have Zapier plus GHL automations, or you can just have make.com automations. This is for doing different type of automations, sending things to Slack, doing email, text follow-ups, tagging, appointment booking, and so on. After you receive a lead, the first 5 minutes are crucial. So you got to call immediately. Literally no analysis paralysis. Try to use a local caller ID using either Kixi or CallRail or even smartphone, but ultimately call real fast within 2 minutes, because these people are looking to be called. If you have trouble, then set up an inside sales agent, whether it's an AI inside sales agent or a real human virtual assistant that will be focused on doing that quick follow up. If you drop a voicemail, make sure that you have a template and dial 3 times, literally 3 times, because you're gonna have to break the barriers of airplane mode and carrier barriers. There's carriers like Verizon, AT&T, all that stuff that give you it gives you a filter, so it filters out that call on that seller's phone call, and then send them a text message and a drip right after. So you get them on the phone. If you can't get them on a call, get them as a text message, send them an iMessage. Be very resourceful, because there's many different ways to actually get a hold of them, such as email, direct mail, a thank you card, or so on, or even drive to that property. Make sure that you're putting every single lead in the CRM instantly, okay? And you start following up. If the numbers don't work, whenever you are actually talking with the lead, don't cry to support. Ultimately, just move fast. Here's the thing: there's some tactics. If the phone number, okay, if the phone number is not working out, check if the number has a WhatsApp or iMessage and message them. Also, go to a skip tracing software such as PropStream or True People Search or People Looker and skip trace that lead, because you'll find the real number based on the address. Okay, and then you ultimately are going to start a conversation such as like, hey name, I got your information about property A123 Main Street or whatever. And follow-up strategy means that you're gonna have to be able to skip trace the leads that you didn't get the right number, or use alternate phone numbers if they're not picking up, making sure that they are local IDs, making sure that they're, you can even do iPhone iMessage, the iPhone audio call, okay, or WhatsApp audio call. If the lead is not picking up, don't cry again. Text on day one, text on day two, call day one, call day two. There's a full follow-up training that I have, because you have to have an aggressive first 7 to 10 business days. So 7 to 10 business days is aggressive follow-up. Okay? Send them emails as well, create a drip. Your goal is to get any reply and restart the sales conversation. If the property is listed on the MLS, don't assume it's dead, because agents can solve everything, and probably that agent hasn't solved the problem for that seller. So offer ultimately to take it off their hands if the listing expires, and you gotta start targeting people that are still listings that have been more than 60 days, withdrawn expired listings, and then ultimately just partner up with the agent and figure out how to actually collaborate for this deal. Because again, the agents may not be doing the right work, and most agents actually suck. Okay, so you're a better real estate investor, you're a better entrepreneur, go work it out. If you don't have SMS or email automations, well, you're going to miss out these opportunities. First contact, speak to lead. 78% of the deals go to the first person who responds. Okay. Lead memory is that they forget they submitted their information with you. Consistency. Humans forget, automations don't. So, as an example, we had a deal that out of the 17 touch, which means that 17 push of either SMS, email, calls, whatever, after 17 times of those pushes, someone replied back, was a super ultra motivated seller lead, and it was also distressed, got a deal. And then you nurture too. Some leads close 30 to 90 days after, sometimes even a year. So have a drip, at least 7+ follow-up. Ultimately will be the industry standard. It takes about 7 to 11 touches to get a hold of the lead. So without automation, you won't hit even 3. So just make sure that you have something like that with Go High Level and REI Rocket Force. So if you're obsessed with credit refunds, you're going to be focused on saving money, not making money. I'm telling you right now, if you're obsessed with going and I'm going to get a refund, I'm going to get a credit, you're not going to make money. That's not the right mindset. Every 15 minutes spent requesting a credit is lost revenue producing time. It's true. You already paid for that time by purchasing the lead, so work it out. Try to make it work. JV, like, go and create a different, resourceful, versatile type of offer. Okay. Instead, ultimately build systems to extract maximum value for each lead. Focus on contact rates, offer speed, follow-up funnel, and KPI tracking. Okay. At the end of the day, what matters is your cost per contract, cost per deal, your deal size, and then ultimately how long it takes to actually close that. When to delegate based on a hiring ladder. So calling leads after, ultimately skip tracing, all that, make sure that you have a trained virtual assistant or closer. Skip tracing, a lead manager or data VA, CRM tagging, ultimately an admin VA. And contract preparation, well, you may want to do that with an automation, buyer dispo, dispo manager or VA, and a lead reactivation automation with a virtual assistant. A rule of thumb is that if it is repetitive, you're 70-80% capacity, then you systemize it and you delegate it. Now, the mindset during this process is stage one, when you buy leads, you have to have the mindset that every lead is a potential 10K. You got to respect every lead. Contacting the leads means that I'm here to help, not to pitch, not to get something lowball. When you follow up, a no means not yet. not a definite no. Okay. An offer means that you got to take a speed in order to get an offer done. Don't wait for perfection. In the negotiation stage, be emotionally detached of that deal. Okay, you got to be sharp about this, because if they see the hunger, they're gonna smell it. Sellers are very smart, and whenever you're sending a contract, you got to do it fast, because otherwise someone else is gonna get it signed. And in the disposition stage, it's not sold until it's wired. So don't win victory and just celebrate. And tell me if you want something like this, which is ultimately a toolkit for yourself, and I'll send it to you. Now, here's the summary of what needs to be done. I'll be more than happy to actually send all of this toolkit for you. Just write in the description, write in the comments below, send me the PPL optimization toolkit, and I'll be more than happy to actually do it. The next video will be how to sell your deals. And I hope that you like this video, because it's exactly how you're going to get deals using a higher quality lead generation platform that generates appointments for you, such as GetSellers.io. See ya.